So I am heading to a hair appointment. It has been way too long, like over a year, since I have gotten my hair cut. And it's very long and doesn't look great. So I'm going to get it cut off and I will show you the results later. Well, I did it. I got a lot of hair chopped off and my hair looks very healthy now. One side curls a lot more than the other. That's okay. But I love it. I love the length. I wanted to keep it a little bit long with some layers, but I love it.
Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, and this is Shannon's Book Nook. And I have a little bit of an update for you. So it is very early on Saturday. It is not even 6 a.m., and I'm already up. I've been up for a few hours now, since like 3 o'clock, because I just am not feeling good. So I woke up. This is not the way you want to start a break. This sucks. This is the worst way to start a break. We are officially on fall break at school, so I have plans for vlogs because I am behind. I just do not have the energy to film much content during the week. After work, I am completely wiped out and just I've been talking all day with my students at work. Just I don't want to come home and talk more. So it is a week reset, refresh, and talking about books with y'all. So, let me tell you a little bit about what I have been reading. So, last night I finished The Hanging Tree by Irina Shapiro. Y'all, I have been working on this book for probably a month now. Um, and it's only like 400 and something pages. It should not have taken me a month, but I had to I didn't want to buy the audiobook, and the audiobook wasn't on Libby and it wasn't on Everand. So the only way for me to get a hold of the audiobook was on Audible, and I did not want to pay 20 something dollars for the audiobook. So I had to read it with my eyes, and I have just not been wanting to read. I don't have the, like I said earlier, I just don't have the energy. So reading things solely with my eyes has been taking a very long time. So it took me like a month to read that book. Also, like when I would read the book, I was enjoying the story, but when I put it down, I struggled to pick it back up. Does that make sense? It was so weird. Like I didn't want to DNF it because I was having a good time while I was in the story, but anytime I set it down or like I fell asleep while reading, like I, I didn't want to DNF it. Also, this was a book that was given to me by a friend as a birthday present, and she loved it, and I had a good time with it, but I wasn't enjoying it as I guess as much as I should have. I ended up giving it 3 stars. Um, so I finished that last night, which I was super excited about because I've been working on it for so long. Then I started The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is book 2 in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. And we just jump right back in. And I am already loving it. I'm having a hard time putting it down. Like when I woke up around 3 o'clock, I was like, oh, let me read a little bit more. And so I started reading it and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm also I'm doing a tandem read. So I have the ebook, but I also am listening to the audiobook. And then I have an audiobook that I'm listening only on audio, and that is Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot. And this Enchanted to Meet You is a witchy rom-com, and I don't know how I feel about it. I love that. Okay, so the main female character is plus size, which I like. I like that representation. But the storyline, like the plot, is not holding my attention. So I'm going to give it a chance. We're going to see what happens. But yes, that is what I'm currently reading. I want to roll the dice for Spookoplathon because I have not been able to, you know, roll the dice for the board since my TBR video. So I am, itching to roll the dice and see what my next book is, but I'm not going to be able to do that until I read Ashes and the Star Cursed King. Because I've read everything else. So if you don't know, on my Spookoplathon TBR for October, I rolled 4 times because I wasn't sure how quickly I would read the books or, if my slump was going to continue. So I only rolled the dice 4 times and then I would kind of just mood read it for the rest of the month. So Spookoplathon is a readathon hosted by Becca in the Books, and you can go to her channel. I'll link her down below to watch the announcement video. She will explain it way better than I can, but it's a Monopoly board set up with reading prompts, and it's a lot of fun. So I rolled 4 times. I did not get any doubles, which means I did not have to add a roll. I've already read The Moon, the Stars, and Madame Barova by Ruth Hogan. I've also read The Genius of Judy Blume by Rachel Holdstein. I don't think that last name's right. And then I have read, what was my other book? Yes. The Wilder Women, I have not read yet. I have the book. I will hopefully get started on that in the next couple of days. So you'll probably see that one in this vlog. So I have 2 books: the Ashes and the Star Cursed King, and The Wilder Women that I need to read. I don't know how I'm feeling about The Wilder Women. That I'm feeling quite slumpy, and The Wilder Women would be outside of my comfort zone. And anything outside my comfort zone right now is not helping my slump. So I might just scrap that one. I might. And I might just roll the dice after finishing the fantasy romance. And I'm going to try and get more fantasy romance on my board because that is kind of what I'm feeling right now. I really want to read some fantasy romance. So we'll see if the board likes me once we get to that point. But I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to go read. I'll talk to y'all later. So I totally forgot to tell you about my little book haul that I got last night after book club. So after talking and chatting and having a grand old time, a few of us, 3 of us, decided after dinner that we would go to Barnes and Noble, which was like right behind the restaurant. So we went to Barnes and Noble and we found the book. So what we do is I have a spinner wheel, and the people who have not been able to pick a book yet, their name goes on the spinner wheel, and we spin the wheel, and the person that gets selected gets to select the book for the month. And so we went to Barnes and Noble to see if we could find it, and we found it. There were only 2 copies, but that's okay because one of the girls didn't want to buy the book yet. So the other two, we went ahead and bought it. So I went a little crazy because I didn't just get one book, I got 4. So let's talk about it. So the book that we picked for book club happened to be on the buy one get one half off table. So I had to pick up another book, just had to. So the book that we're reading for book club is You May Now, The Bride. Okay. This is by Kate West. It is, I'm not sure if it's a thriller or mystery or none of the above. So it says the bride to be drops dead at her bachelorette weekend. Oh, opening line right there. The bride to be drops dead at her bachelorette weekend with all her bridesmaids as suspects for her murder. In this wiry thriller full of deadly twists and characters you'll love to hate. Who will be left standing when the bouquet is thrown? So I'm excited about this one. And it's only 337 pages, and the text is pretty average. So I anticipate being able to finish this one pretty quickly. And then because, it was on the buy one, get one half off table, I had to pick something else. And I don't remember which one came next. I think this one did. I saw One Dark Window by Rachel Gaelig. Now, I have this on my Kindle Unlimited. I could have saved myself some money. Honestly, like the next book also is on KU, and I could have saved myself some money. But, I like to have my trophies for my shelf. So I bought this one. And for those of you that don't know, this is a fantasy. I believe it's maybe a fantasy romance. So it says Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. So I bought that one. And then we were still looking around, and I saw this next book, and I have had my eye on it, and I've heard that the audiobook is actually like superb. So I will definitely be checking out the audiobook, but I also wanted a copy. And so I bought a copy, and it was also on the buy one get one half off table. So that's how I ended up with 4 books, because I couldn't just get 3. So I got Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. And this is giving like Butcher and Blackbird vibes. Okay. So it says a dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you handle the ride? I want someone with a soul as black as night, someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. Trauma nurse Allie Capucci? Ooh, I don't know. Doesn't need any more kinks. She likes the one she's landed on just fine. To her, nothing could top the masked men she follows online. She fantasizes about one man in particular hunting her down, but she never could have guessed that one drunken text could make those dreams into reality. I want things most people don't, craving darkness and depravity instead of light and love. So Josh Hammond, that's so weird because I have a friend whose name is very, 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 very close to that. Both. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Anyways, has spent his life avoiding the limelight, but his online persona is another story. At night, He posts masked thirst traps for his millions of fans, but one follower has caught his eye, Allie. Together, Josh and Allie live out their darkest fantasies, unaware that Allie has captured the attention of someone with far more sinister intentions. As Josh turns from predator to protector, he must ask himself how far he'll go for the woman he's obsessed with. And so, what really topped it for me, and the reason I decided to buy it, was when I opened it up, the list of trigger warnings. Um, yeah, yeah, sign me up for all of that. I'm not gonna read them all, but you should really check out the trigger warnings for, this book. So yeah, I will be reading that hopefully very soon. And then the last book that I got was this chunker, When the Moon Hatched, by Sarah A. Parker. I did not realize how thick she is. Yeah, so I'm excited about this one. And I also didn't know that it was YA. So interesting. I mean, at least it was in the YA section. Is it actually YA? I'll let you know. So it says the best selling sensation When the Moon Hatched is a fast paced fantasy romance featuring an immersive, vibrant world with mysterious creatures, a unique magic system, and a love that blazes through the ages. As an assassin for the rebel group, I'm not going to even try and say that. Rave's job is to complete, excuse me, to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Rave finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Khan Vager took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell the never ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the captain's high security prison when he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. And it's blurbed by one of my favorite authors, Raven Kennedy. But Raven Kennedy is the author of the Plated Prisoner series, which is definitely fully in the adult category. Now, I'm not saying that this can't be YA still, but that means it's highly unlikely to actually be a YA novel, I would think, right? I would think. So I am excited. All of these um, are going on my cart, because these are all books that I really want to read right now. So I hopefully will have an update for you later. Good morning. So I'm not feeling great. I have a bit of a migraine, so this is going to be a quick little update. Um, I literally just finished Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot audiobook. So super cute, super fun read. We have Jessica, who is a plus size witchy girl living in West Harbor, and Derek is an outsider who comes because he's been sent to help the town because there's a rift that is being caused by demons, and he is trying to help prevent the rift from becoming a hell hole, hell mouth. And so he is sent to find the chosen one to help protect the town. And he meets Jessica, who is in secret, like her family doesn't know that she's a witch, or practicing witch. And they meet. She is a dress shop owner, and the chemistry is chemistrying. And yeah, so this is a fun little witchy romance rom-com, fun for October and Halloween. So I don't know if I'm going to give it a 3.5, maybe a 4 star. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Good morning. So it is Monday, and yesterday was a rough day. I was not well. I had a terrible migraine. I woke up at like 3 a.m. Maybe that was the day before. I don't even remember anymore. My days kind of have run together already. But I woke up very, very early with a headache and immediately went and took some Tylenol. Tylenol? Acetaminophen. And tried to go back to bed, but my head hurt so bad that I was having a hard time falling asleep. So I got up and came downstairs, and then it had been several hours at this point, and I took some ibuprofen. Still had a headache. I was nauseous. I was sensitive to light. I was sensitive to sound. I went out and got some caffeine, but I try not to drink caffeine. Like I try not to drink soda caffeine. Okay. So I got a sweet tea, which I don't know if that's any better, but in my brain, it is. So I needed caffeine to try and get this migraine to go away. And it had been a couple hours since my ibuprofen. So I took my migraine medication, which, yes, I do have migraine medication, but I try not to take it unless absolutely necessary because it knocks me out usually. And it did not. I even used like peppermint oil on my temples and on like the base of my, skull. And I even did like an ice pack on my neck. I was pulling out all of the stops and I still have a dull headache. So yeah, it was a little rough. But I did listen to my audiobook once I finally got my migraine to kind of dwindle down to a headache. I finished Enchanted to Meet You, which I talked about yesterday in my short little update video, my short little clip. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And then I continued listening to The Ashes and the Star Cursed King by Chris Broadbent, which, if you don't know, is book 2 in the Crown of Nyaxia series. And we're following Araya and Rain. Rain is a vampire who is, in this book, I can't really, you know what? I really can't talk about it without spoiling some things from the first book. So I think I'm going to have to be careful. But it's a fantasy romance. And Rain and Araya, there's a romantic connection between the two. And I have some theories. And this is I want to say that it's the final book in this like duology. And then there's like the third book that's coming out follows a different person, which I'm kind of excited about. It comes out in November. And we see Lilith and Vale, who are featured in the novella, and I'm so glad I read that. And you know what? I ended up loving that book more than the first book, and I love Vale and Lilith, and we're seeing a different side because we're getting a perspective that is not from them. So we're seeing them in a different light, and I'm really hoping that what they think, like our Rain and Araya, think of Vale in particular. I really hope that that's not the outcome because I love Vale, and I will be very disappointed if it comes to light that it's all true. So, yeah, I'm excited. I am actually going to be leaving in a few minutes to go to my sister in law's house to hang out with her and my nephew. We're going to go to Costco. I need to buy a couple things, but I cannot spend a lot of money. Cannot. I'm telling myself right now, you're not going to buy a lot of things. I need to buy some frozen goods and some snack goodie items because I am on fall break and I literally have no food in this house right now. So I do need to buy some food. And if I can find like a vegetable chopper, um, that is cheaper than the ones that I found on Amazon, but still good quality, I'm probably going to buy one of those. And then I need to buy like laundry detergent and some some feminine items. So I will give you more of an update when I have one. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, y'all. It is about that time. We left off on Bram Stoker, so I'm gonna put my big old magnetic "How you doing?" right there, and I have my computer right here with the dice. So I'm gonna hit roll, and we're gonna see what we get. That's an 8. So let's go back to the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got Stabby, which works perfectly. So I landed on Stabby in the Spookoplathon board. Oops, drop some papers. Which works perfectly with the next book that I want to pick up, which is Hidden Pictures. Now, is it Stabby? I don't know, because I think it's more like a horror story. But I mean, it could get stabby because some of these pictures in here are like, oh my gosh, super creepy. So this is Hidden Pictures by Jason Recluclack. Yeah, I'll figure out how to say that later. So I know that a female, a former drug addict, she's been sober and clean for 18 months. She is interviewing for a position to be a nanny to a little boy named Teddy. And Teddy is drawing pictures, and they're just now moving into this new house. They're moving from Spain to back into the United States, and they're trying to find a babysitter, a nanny that will watch him while the parents are at work. And we start off with like cute, innocent little photos or pictures. And they progressively get, you know, a little out there. So, I mean, we go from this to this. So, yeah. I'm going to pick this, and hopefully it fits the prompt. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but because Stabby kind of goes with thriller, but I feel like it could also go with horror too, because depending on how descriptive the author decides to get, I mean, it could work. So I'm going to make it work. And I'll give you an update when I have one.
Hi. So I just finished The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Chris Broadbent. What a ride. I mean, the last 100 pages, my anxiety was through the roof because I was worried about my favorite peoples. I'm like, please, please don't kill anybody that I love. I enjoyed this series so much. Like, I was constantly just wanting to read, consume it all very quickly. And then the other half of my brain was like, no, slow down, enjoy your time in this world. Like, I just didn't want to leave. And so it was like a constant back and forth. Like, read it. Oh, no, slow down, slow down, slow down. You're reading it too fast. It's a very easy read, very immersive. I had a wonderful time with this book. I loved Rain and Araya. I had no idea that there is a standalone in this. I mean, there's a novella between the first two books called Six Scorched Roses, but there's also like a standalone romance called Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. And I had no idea. So I'm excited to check that one out before book 3. Book 3 follows Misha. Misha is Rain's like best friend, but also like kind of like a sister to him. Some things were forced upon her early in her life, and she's got some things that she needs to kind of work through. Something happens in book 2 that kind of forces her to deal with the things that she's been trying to kind of like run from and hide. So yeah, she decides in book 2 at the end that she wants to go on her own way and just try to figure herself out. And I love that for her. She is a very strong, capable person. So I'm excited to see what will come of her story. And that book comes out in November. So I have, a little bit of time before I need to read, just, a couple weeks before I need to read Slaying the Vampire Conqueror. I guess I don't really have to read it, but I want to, just in case, some people pop up in book number 3 that are in that standalone world. So yeah, I'm super excited to see what happens. I am still reading Hidden Pictures. Uh, that book is creepy, like super creepy, but I will probably do a roll in just a little bit to see, because I like to read 2 books at once. Normally, I have an ebook that I'm reading and an audiobook that I'm reading. So I might do a roll to see what my next ebook is going to be so I can kind of crack on with that.
Okay, I'm going to film this video real quick because a friend just called me and asked me to come pick her up. She's been stuck at the dealership since 8 o'clock this morning and it's almost 12. So I'm going to go pick her up real quick. But before I go do that, I'm going to roll the dice. And you know what? We're here. And so we could get anything from a 2 to a 12, which means we got a chance all the way to past. There are some things in here that I'm not looking forward to possibly landing on, like big book. I just finished a big book that was 618 pages. I don't feel like reading another book. Do I have some things that can fill that prompt? Yes, I do. But do I want to read them right now? Not particularly. And then lowest rated and highest rated and randomize your TBR. This little corner here, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And I've already done this one, so I'd like not to have to land on that again. So I'm hoping the board will be nice to me. Let's see what we roll. Okay, here's my dice roller. Let's see. That's a double. That's and that's a big book. The fudge? Y'all. And that's a 1, 2. Oh, wait, no, that's a chance. Okay, good. We're good. Okay. That's a chance card, but a double means I have to roll again. And I have to pull a chance card. Now, I don't have chance cards ready. I do have a TBR, like a spinner wheel. Can't get my mind going. So I'll spin the wheel and we'll see what I land on and what book that picks. But because I rolled a double, I have to roll again. And that means we got 2 books. Okay, so that's a 9. Let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pumpkin carving. I gotta look to see what that is, and I'll be back with my choice. Okay, so I looked it up. Pumpkin carving is read a book with a face on the cover, which will be easy. I'm hoping that maybe I can do a twofer, so sorry, it's dark in here. So I'm hoping maybe my chance will land on a book that will have a face on the cover. That way I don't have to read 2 books for this. Okay, so I'm hoping I can put them together. If not, we're going to pick two books. It is what it is.
Oh, okay. So I have already spun the wheel, so I already know, but I'm going to post the little screen recording that I did and show you. So let me, while I'm telling you what books are on this wheel. So on my on my wheel, I did not think it through because there are not very many books on this chance wheel that have a face on the cover. So I did not make this easy on myself. So I have The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is a holiday arc that I have from NetGalley that I really need to get read. That one does have a face on the cover, which would have been awesome. One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. That has a person on the cover, but I don't think it has a face on the cover. Then we have The Wren in the Holly Library, which is by, who is it by? I can look it up real quick. Excuse me. It's by K.A. Lindy. And this has a bird on the cover, which would count as a face because, the bird has a face. And then I have Hide and Seek, which is by Eden Emery and Ashley Pines. That technically has a face on the cover. I'll post a picture of the cover on up here somewhere. Then House of Beating Wings, which is by Olivia Wildenstein. Then The Wedding Witch, which is another arc by Aaron Sterling on NetGalley. And then Goldfinch, which is the last book in the Plated Prisoner series by Raven Kennedy. Now that was a chunker, and I was kind of glad. So what you're supposed to do with the chance cards is put some books that you want to read and put some books that you want to read but don't necessarily want to read right now. And there were a couple of books like House of Beating Wings, Goldfinch, and The Nightmare Before Christmas that were just kind of like, I really do need to get these read. So I'll throw them on there. But I wasn't like gonna be super excited about them because that's not what I'm feeling right now. And then I also have The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer, which is the book that got picked. And this does not have a face on the cover. But I am excited to read it. This was one of the books that was recommended to me, 12 books recommended by 12 friends. So I am excited to read it. Let me tell you what it's about. So it says, my future is a big what if at the moment, and I'm fine with that for the most part. When Thayer Holmes moves in next door, the grumpy landscaper both fascinates and amuses me. When he asks me to nanny his kids, it's a great way to make some extra money. It's impossible not to fall in love with Thayer and his adorable son. There's a big problem, though. I'm 18, he's 31. Falling for someone almost 15 years older than me wasn't part of my plans, but sometimes things happen when you least expect them. So Storygraph says the preview, The Confidence of Wildflowers by Michaela Smeltzer is a poignant and enlightening romance that will resonate deeply with readers who appreciate stories that tackle complex themes of love, identity, and the power of human connection, particularly those who enjoy character driven narratives that explore the complexities of age gaps and the resilience of the human spirit. So I am excited for that. I do love a age gap, but the fact that she's so young, 18, like that's right at the, she's a baby. She's a baby adult. So I wish the age gap, I wish the female main character was a little bit older, like, 23, 24. But it is what it is. We'll see how I get on with it. And then for pumpkin carving, I got to read something with a face on it. Um, I might have to come back because I don't know what I'm going to read for that one. Maybe after I read The Confidence of Wildflowers, I will have a better idea of what I kind of want to read. So I might come back for that. Well, I did it. I finished this bad boy, Hidden Pictures by Jason Reklulak. It was good. It was not as creepy as I thought it was gonna be. But I did have a good time with it. There were some theories that I was kind of playing with in my head as I was reading, and most of them were correct, but the why, I couldn't quite figure out the why. So while I kind of figured out what was going on, I didn't have all the answers. So I guess there you go. I wish, you know what? Because I've heard from a couple friends who have read this book that it's super creepy. And it should be with pictures like this, throughout the book. But I wasn't getting that creep factor. Maybe because I kind of figured out what was going on, but I still had a good time and I was along for the ride. But this is probably going to get a three, maybe 3.5 stars. The ending was a wild ride. There's a lot of people dropping like flies. And the epilogue is bittersweet. Definitely bittersweet. Mallory is like writing a letter to Teddy, and it's bittersweet and, kind of sad. Teddy's journey. I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for a lot of people that were victims in this story. So while it didn't give me the vibes I was looking for, the creepiness, it did give stabby. It did give stabby towards the middle. No, towards the end, sorry. Towards the end, like the last, 40-ish pages. Yeah, we got stabby. So I am trying to figure out what I'm going to read next. I have two options. One of them is a Libby audiobook, but I also have the Kindle Unlimited ebook, so I can do like a tandem read. And that is The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lundy, which is a fantasy romance. And then there's a contemporary romance featuring older protagonists, role playing by Kathy Yardley, which, like I said, is a contemporary romance. I also have that checked out on Kindle Unlimited, and KU also has like the audible audiobook available when you check out the Kindle Unlimited book. So I also have the audio for that. I really want to read both. I just don't know which one I should pick up first because I'm on a time constraint with the Wren and the Holly Library because it's a library book checkout. So I have that. I've already had it for a couple of days, so I only have 12 days left with that book. And let's look to see how long that audiobook is. It is 15 hours. So it's a pretty long audio. And then if I look at role playing, let's see how long role playing is. 10 hours and 2 minutes. So role playing is shorter by 5 hours. I don't know which one I want. Both of them will work for the space of pumpkin carving. So, you know what? Because I want to read both, and they're different genres. I might just read both. Ugh, no, because I'm reading The Confidence in Wildflowers right now, which is a romance. So maybe I'll start with The Wren in the Holly Library. I'll start reading that. When I finish The Confidence in Wildflowers, I'll pick up. No, because I got to spin. Oh, dag nabbit. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe I should just put it on a wheel, let the wheel decide. And if I don't like the choice, then I know which one I actually want to read. So let's try that. Okay, so I put it on the wheel, but I put each book, since there's only two, I put it each book on there 3 times, and I'm gonna hit shuffle 1, 2, 3 times. And then we're going to, so I shuffled it, and we're gonna hit spin and see what we land on. If I like it, I'll read it. If I'm like, ooh, we know that's not what I really want to read. So what does it say? I can't even read that. Role playing. Okay, so I got a sinking feeling in my stomach, so I guess we're going to read Wren in the Holly Library right now. There we go. That's how you decide. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this vlog here because I kind of edit as I go. And I noticed that this vlog is already at like 46 minutes. So, and I don't want to make it too much longer. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. This week has been relatively good, in my opinion. No, not relatively. It has been awesome. I am a teacher on fall break and I needed this break. I know all of us actually did. The students needed it, all of the teachers needed it. And my goal this week, and it's only Wednesday, so I still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I still have 4 more days of break. And I still plan on reading and I still plan on vlogging. I'm just wrapping up this one now and I'll start the next one literally right after this. But let's see what I read. I finished Enchanted to Meet You by Meg Cabot, which I gave 4 stars. Super cute, witchy rom-com. Then I continued reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and I finished that one yesterday. And I gave that one 4.5 stars. That one's by Carissa Broadbent. Loved it. Then I started Hidden Pictures by Jason Reklulak and gave that one a 3.5. And I started The Confidence of Wildflowers, which I am still currently reading. And I am also going to be starting A Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lindy. So 3 books finished. 2 books one started, one will be starting. So not too shabby, not too shabby. So thank you so much for sticking around. If you stuck around for this long, don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you want to check me out on any of my other social medias like Instagram, Goodreads, you can check out my description and you will find the link there. I also have a link to my Pango bookstore front, and that light popped on and distracted me. And I also have, that's it. That's the only other link I have down there. So thanks so much for sticking around, and I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.